Aloha everybody, Kaiwaza with you. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Waikiki on a sunny, I think it's pretty sunny September afternoon. And I'm drinking coffee out of my winter coffee mug. I don't know why. Anyway, today it's time for a Hawaiian music record update. Really, it's a little bit more than just Hawaiian music today. I've got some Hawaiian, South Pacific, and Exotica records that have come into my possession since the last update. I just remembered something not to forget. And yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover, so we're just gonna get started. First up, I wanna show you some things that I'm not going to talk about individually in this video, but they're new, mostly because there's stuff either I had, compilations, whatever, or I don't have time to talk about them all. So here's a quick look at some of the things that I've gotten recently. So I have many reissues of this album, but I believe this is the original release of this album that I love so much, Hawaii Tattooed by the Waikikis. And even the original release from Belgium makes me crazy that they use the apostrophe S. That's really incorrect, because this would be possessive. That would be like Waikiki's Sandy Beach. But it's not possessive, it's a group. It should just be an S, no apostrophe, the Waikikis. And then this is some stuff that, that's been reissued or in different compilations that I'm not going to talk all about. Kronkjong music, my friend sends me some of that stuff that comes out of Europe because it is sort of related to Hawaiian music. And we're not going to talk about all those here. Again, these are a lot of things that are issued and reissued on budget labels in Europe. Percy Faith, South Pacific. Another addition to my South Pacific soundtrack record. A few records by the group the Kilima Hawaiians, who are from Holland, Netherlands. That this is, I either have a different version or these are compilations of some of the things. I'm not going to go over them individually here. We've already talked about Kilima Hawaiians. And this is a reissue of some Tahitian music written by Eddie Lund, which I have most of these songs already on other albums, and we're not going to discuss that here, but there he is playing a record with a monkey or something, baboon, I don't know. Now, first up we have a South Pacific record. This one is from a label, not very well-known label, Armar. I'm not very familiar with it. I only have a couple of records up from this label, and it's always something completely new to me, as was this one. I was very happy to see it. It's by a band leader, Bill Sevesi is his name, and the Bamboo Men. Bill Sevesi was a like a group organizer, band leader, also a musician himself, from I want to say New Zealand, but that's not true. I think he was kind of made famous in New Zealand, but I believe he's originally from Samoa or Tonga or something. He's Hapa. He's like German something. I don't know. Anyway, this album is Tonga. We love the cover. And the music's not particularly remarkable. I just got it because it's Bill Sevesi and I enjoy his stuff. And if it's a Bill Sevesi record, there's going to be steel guitar on it, because I think he's a steel guitar player also, although he doesn't always play steel guitar on his recordings. And this was indeed. So, because a lot of Tongan and Samoan music is actually very, very simple. The songs are very simple, almost like a nursery rhyme or something, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something. A lot of them are pretty simple. But it's the arrangement, and I love to hear the Hawaiian steel guitar with it. So this is Tonga, Bill Sevesi, and the Bamboo Man, no date on it. Okay, this one is one of those ones you have to see to believe, because I would not have believed this record existed. I mean, why would it exist? It's a group from Holland called the Kilima Hawaiians, Hawaiian group from Holland, performing South African songs. Like, okay.
Dit is mijn plezier met die boerjonkerels hier. Rita, Merita, vraag jouw hart of ons als kei. Rita, Merita, meneer aan mij zee.
And there it is. Like, I didn't know this record was out there. I'm quite familiar with Kilima Hawaiians. I have a lot of their recordings. But I did not have this one, and wow, very interesting. It's from 1971, and yeah, it's the Kilima Hawaiians singing. They are, because sometimes they're instrumental and sometimes they are singing. They are singing in all of these songs. I would have preferred myself personally, because I do love steel guitar, and they have a great steel guitar player. They've had a couple of different great players in their group, but I love to hear the steel guitar. I would have preferred instrumental myself, but I don't really need them singing. That's just me. So that would be my comment about this record. Very weird, and to me, not Hawaiian enough. Like, I just feel they were singing and playing. There's a little bit of steel guitar, not much, and I just felt like, oh, I would like for it to have been more of a Hawaiian presentation of South African songs. That would have been kind of cool. So this one, like, you know, it's in the collection. I think I uploaded one or two songs, a couple songs, I think, onto Hawaiian hi-fi, onto the radio station. All right, moving on. Now, for a long time, I've had this record, a Glen, Auna, and the West Hawaii Revue. Love this kind of stuff. This is like a lounge act that used to perform at the Kona Hilton, and I thought this was it. This is disco. There's like some disco stuff on here. Pretty cool record. No date, but obviously from the 70s. Then I was record shopping in Denver and came across this record, which I had no idea existed. Had never seen it before. Like the other one, sort of a private pressing, but I'd never seen this anywhere. It's the same group of people. It's the West Hawaii Revue with Glen, Auna, who were performing at the Kona Hilton, but it's a different recording. It's a gatefold, but just one record. Same group doing different songs. And this one, if I'm being honest, I gotta flip it upside down to see Glen, Auna. I don't like this one as much as the other one. I really like the other record. The production values are much better. This has really muddy production values, and I don't feel, you know, I mean, I sound like I'm ragging on everything today, and I guess I kind of am. I mean, I'm giving an opinion. To me, this one, not anywhere as good as the other one. Other one, disco-y, cool, you know, retro, fun to listen to. This one is just kind of old. I'm very muddy, and I'm not as fond of it. I mean, the singing's fine. It's just not, it doesn't interest me as much. But, you know, I'm happy to have it, because who knew? Not only did they do one, they did two records. Who knew? All right, now here's a record I actually paid money for. You know, I'm kind of a cheapie, right? But this one, it was at a record shop here in Honolulu, and I looked at it. I think it was like $25, maybe even 30. I looked at it. I used my little Google Translate, and I just thought about it a lot, and finally decided I was going to get it. It's called the Tamure. It's called Tamure Tahiti by the Tiare Tahitians. But don't let that fool you. This is a Japanese record by Japanese artists from Japan, recorded in Japan, marketed in Japan. And what I was trying to find out, it has all this like information on the inside in Japanese. And I was trying to find it, but it was sealed, so I couldn't look at the inside. And I was trying to find out if I could find anything about it and if it was instrumental, because I really wanted it if it was instrumental. If it was vocal, not so much. But I have a couple of instrumental Tahitian inspired and drumming inspired records from Japan, and I really like them because the Japanese style, like their syncopation, is a little bit different with the Tahitian songs than the Tahitians would play it. And they just do some weird things with the drumming and effects, and it's kind of cool. Like, I kind of enjoy it, and I was really hoping this was going to be that, but I couldn't find anywhere whether this was an instrumental album or a vocal album. And I finally just decided to bite the bullet and that I was going to get it, and I got it, and it turned out to be an instrumental album, which I love. I love this record. It's just full, it's instrumental, it's full of like the Hawaiian steel guitar with some weird, you know, Kong Island drumming or whatever, Skull Island going on. Like you all kind of expect the little girls to come out and sing the Mothra song, you know, Mothra. Why didn't anybody ever do that? Did any Exotica bands cover the Mothra song? I mean, why not? They should have. Anyway. Yeah, it's a gatefold. Interestingly, it's on Harvest Records, but I don't know if this means like it's never was fully released. I don't know what it means, because look at the label. The label is just weird. There's like nothing on it. It's very strange. Loved this record.
Hello, how are ya? How are ya? How are ya? My name is Leilani, and I'm a native of the island. Coney Island, that is. Anyway, I'm here to remind you to tune in to Mr. Kaiwaza's Hawaiian Hi-Fi Radio. It's really marvelous. He's playing all these old records. I mean, old dusty old things. Really old records. You remember them? I barely remember them. Anyway, he's playing them Hawaiian records. 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can tune into this radio station online anytime and hear the old Hawaiian music, just like they used to play it in Honolulu. And Hollywood, too, and Japan and places and stuff. Anyway, it's online. It's on live365.com. All you got to do is click on the link in the description box below, and it's going to take you directly there, right there. Couldn't be more simpler. Just click on that link, and you'll be in Hawaii. You'll be on the beach at Waikiki instantaneously. It's amazing. You got to do it. Click on the link. What are you waiting for? Click on the link.
Okay, now. Here's one. I got this on eBay, didn't pay very much for it. Really was curious as to what it was. It's private pressing. I don't know where it's from. I don't even know if it's from the United States. I'm not sure because there are so many misspellings and so many mistakes on this. Number one, the back says nothing. The back of the record, absolutely nothing. And the front, it's obviously like a custom, one of those custom things where you probably just picked out from a bunch of generic pictures what you wanted your album cover to be, and then it's just like very plain, straightforward lettering for the titles. Leon A. Justin, soloist. I thought, is this a foreign language? But it's not. I mean, I can't find this anywhere as being foreign, but wow, the level of misspelling is incredible. Native Hawaiian, authentic music of the islands. So this is very curious what this is, right? It's a steel guitarist, mostly instrumentals. The steel guitar playing is good. It's in an old style. It's like I think it might be acoustic guitar or electrified, maybe some of them, but whatever. It's old style. It's like 1920s style, 1930s style kind of playing, really. And there is singing on some of the records, but I don't know. I don't know who this is. I can't find anything on them. And the singing, number one, is not good. I wish they had not sung at all. Although there's one track that's so bizarre. And the songs, there's misspellings. You'll see on the labels that I'll show you both sides. There's misspellings and everything. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what are these songs? And some of them, it sounds like maybe the person singing kind of knew the lyrics maybe from a long time ago in Hawaiian, and then they're just sort of kind of trying to recall them from memory, and they're really messed up. Or they never knew them, or like they're from Yugoslavia or something, and they have the lyrics in Hawaiian in front of them, and they're just going, and you have to hear it, but I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea who this is. Singing on some of the songs. Fascinating record. If you know anything about Leon A. Justin, please let me know, because I have no idea whether this is even printed in the United States or not. No idea. And here is a record. This record eluded me for so long. All these years that I have been collecting these Hawaiian records, this record, I knew it was out there, and I just never ever would come across it at a decent price. It was always quite expensive, and I just wasn't willing to pay for it because I knew it was sort of a typical band of the era, and I wasn't gonna pay a lot for it. One of the collectors shows recently here, there was a guy that had 6 million Hawaiian records, had a huge collection of Hawaiian records, all of which I had, of course, but he had this one and he was only asking $10 for it, and I was like, yes, I will buy it. And that is Akona. That's the name of the group and the name of the album. I don't know the year on this. It's 1970s. Okay, it's not like the music is super exciting. I'm not going to go, oh my gosh, it's like the most awesome, amazing Hawaiian music you've ever heard. It's not. It's good, though. It's good. What it is, if you are familiar with Hawaiian music at all, recorded in Hawaii or whatever, this is so representative of the Hawaiian music in the 70s that was being recorded in the 70s. This album in every way is very, very typical. In that of the male groups of the time, there would be these quartets and trios of male singers, Hawaiian singers, recording albums. This album may be all original songs. One side of the label is blank, so I don't know who wrote the songs on that side, but I think they wrote all the songs themselves on the other side, and I think both sides, it's all original material. Also fairly typical of the era of the 70s would be that these groups would record maybe 3 or 4 sort of standard songs are well known, and they might really write 4 or 5 songs, original songs for the albums in Hawaiian language and in English. That was pretty typical of the 70s. This very typical looking group from the 70s would be the Bradas, the Blalas, whatever. The guys, right? The Hawaiian guys, like, usually wearing an outfit that they probably performed at gigs, a nightclub or hotel or something, where they would be playing. Also very representative, the kind of harmony, the style, when you hear the samples, super. There are just a million, I could pick out like 100 records right now that sound very, very similar to this, or kind of that style of Hawaiian groups. Hawaiian male groups in the 70s have kind of a similar sound. Makaha Sons of Ni'ihau, who later became very famous as the Makaha Sons, and Brother Is came out of that group also. Started out this way too. It's very, very typical. They kind of developed more intricate and more professional sounds, and included steel guitar, Hawaiian steel guitar. Almost none of these records, these ones in the 70s, have Hawaiian steel guitar. They were kind of not into it, and they were using slack key guitar and ukulele, and that was really the sound. So they don't usually have steel guitar in them, which I miss because I love steel guitar, but it's okay.
Puanani o Hawaii, e lawe aku ka makani. Ka lehu anani maki ko olau, e ho o pula pula au, e ho o pula pula au.
Anyway, yeah, this is a very representative album of 70s male Hawaiian groups, and I'm glad to finally have it. Now, I just have a couple of Exotica records I want to show to you. I love Exotica music. Here's a record that, again, I haven't gotten because when you see it, it's extremely expensive, pretty much. And I happened to be, when I was in Denver, shopping with my friend Scott, came across a reissue. This is not the original, this is a reissue of the album. And I'm just as happy to have the reissue, probably happier because it's in beautiful condition, than the original. The album is called Portrait of Leda, composed with the orchestra composed and conducted by Phil Moore and the singer Leda or Lita, I don't know, Lita Annest. This is a completely weird album, and it's sort of iconic. She is in this area I would put of, you say, Bathsheba and the Passions, right? Are you familiar with that? Ima Sumac, for having this incredible vocal range and sometimes just making noises and syllables, not actual lyrics, right? That's what this is. There's no lyrics on this record. She's not singing about anything. Yet it's, according to the notes, she sings about everything, all the emotions and all the feelings and all of everything of Lita. But it's like an orchestra with this lady just going like, it's amazing. And I had part of it on a CD from years ago that was produced, I think it was almost like a CDR that somebody made, although it wasn't, I don't know. But it was just like one half of this album and some other stuff that they had on it. So I was really happy to get the whole album. It's just bizarre. It's really bizarre, and I love it. We are living for it. The original album came out in 1958. This is a reissue that there's no date on. I don't know when this came out, but it is the entire original album. Super happy to have it. You can hear excerpts on Moody Mood Music on Krakatoa Leisure Hour on Wednesdays. I don't play it during the rest of the week, but on Wednesdays during Krakatoa Leisure Hour, you can hear selections from Portrait of Lita to make your life complete. Then finally, a record that, well, I already had the record, but I didn't have it in this incarnation. I had it this way. It's kind of a beaten up copy on Crown of Jazz Heat Bongo Beat with Buddy Collette, Tommy Tedesco, some other jazz people, Eddie Cano. It's a great record. I mean, this is Crown. It's a budget label. This is a great record. It's a classic record. It's great Exotica music. And I came across another release of it that was maybe even earlier. I don't know, earlier or later, I'm not sure. 1962, supposedly it came out on Modern Records, which is sort of an incarnation of the same company, Crown, called Crazy Bongo, Haji Baba. And this was only like $1 or $1 or $2 somewhere. And it's like in beautiful condition. It's the same record, okay? If you got this, you got this, but beautiful condition, and it's just like the grooviest thing in the world. I think it was out of Portland. I couldn't find the CD, but I've got it, called the Bongo Kings. Released a CD called Bongos in Paradise, and it is these songs literally lifted this and another sort of Exotica record by the same grouping of musicians, basically. They just took all those songs and put them into medleys and lifted the arrangements directly. Just lifted the arrangements out, put them in medleys, and put out a CD. So if you ever come across that, that's a great way to get this music too, although that's probably even rarer than the record at this point. Anyway, yeah, love it so much. If you come across these guys and you like Exotica and kind of jazzy, cool stuff, this is good stuff. Okay, that's it for today. Whew. Oh, no, it isn't. I have a CD. I'm sorry. This also is Exotica. This one, CD, this is production music. So this was made for use for people that were doing, TVs, movies, or whatever, commercials and things. You could travelogues, you could use this music. It was a record, and it has been reissued by Rambling Records on a CD, and I kind of jumped on it. Polynesia, it's called, and it's by I know it's not on here. Is it Piero or Pietro? Piero or Pietro? I don't know. Umiliani, Italian. So the titles are like all in Italian, but these are Polynesian like tone poems to use for production. I was excited this was made available. I was excited to finally hear it. I knew it was around as a record for a long time. I will say, honestly, slightly disappointed. It's not, it's okay, it's all right. I'm a little bit like, there's no steel guitar, Hawaiian steel guitar in it. the drumming, which is on several songs. A couple of them are exotic and kind of cool, and some of them are just sort of lame, like, that doesn't sound anything like Polynesians beating on drums. It doesn't. So, mixed reviews on this one, but I am glad to have it in the collection. And there are some selections being played on Hawaiian Hi-Fi. So, yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. That's it for this Hawaiian and South Pacific and Exotica music update. Thank you for watching. You can hear selections from all of these, most of these, all of these? Yeah, all of these records on Hawaiian Hi-Fi, which will be linked below, and you can check that out anytime. Also, there's Buy Me a Coffee is linked below if you feel like buying me a coffee, which helps support the continuation of the radio station and the record collection, etc. Any of that would be appreciated if you feel like it. And thank you for watching. Have a good day. We'll see you guys in the next video.